Hey guys, I just want to share something with you today about iBuyers. Have you maybe heard that term before? What you probably are more familiar with is instant offers, open door, OfferPad, all sorts of other ones, knock.com. So I wanted to give you a quick rundown on how those actually work, because we get it at every appointment I go to. How does this work? Should I consider it? And stuff like that, because you can go in any of those and put in your address and they'll send you an offer. So let's just imagine you have a house at $200,000. They're probably gonna send you an offer that's quite good, 195 to 200, and you're gonna be like, this is so much easier. And I totally get it. There's a convenience factor to it. And for certain buyers, just to be bluntly honest, it's a great opportunity, especially if you have a ton of equity and you don't mind giving it up. I say that very tongue-in-cheek. I don't think you should give it up. You worked hard for your equity. You should save it and let somebody like us protect your equity and get that in your pocket. But here's the math on how it works. So imagine you have a $200,000 house. Typical commission for an agent is gonna be 6%. With an iBuyer, it's more like 7 to 10%. And they call it a convenience fee. Typical closing costs from our team in terms of like what we're gonna help you negotiate, the typical for a seller right now in this market is to pay about 2%. So imagine you have a $200,000 house, probably gonna be like $4,000, which is about half of the cost of closing. Buyer pays half, seller pays half. There's no rule to it, it's all negotiable, but that's a typical trend that we see. So I'm just giving that to you as a number. Now on an iBuyer, it's 0% because they've included it here, but they didn't tell you, right? They also know they're gonna get some more from you later, and we're gonna get there. So let's go to the next step. You're under contract, now you have an inspection, and repairs come back and you negotiate that with the buyer. Typically right now in a $200,000 house, we see most repairs coming in between $500 and $1,000 at the most. I mean, you have things like roofs, you have things like water heaters and HVAC units, but we don't see a lot of the big ticket items because we've done a good job coaching our clients on how to prepare their house for sale and get around a lot of that. So, and also we actually put you under home warranty while you're listed with us, so you can actually just call the call fee and then have them come in and do it for $60 call fee anyways through the home warranty program. So we typically see about a 0.5%, maybe let's call it $1,000 just for argument's sake. Now here's the difference. With an iBuyer, they're gonna come in and they're gonna probably add up everything. Here's what they do. They send 10 to 20 inspectors out to your house. You got your electrical guy, your plumbing guy, your HVAC guy, your roof guy, your crawl space guy, your basement guy, whatever, your waterproofing. They've got all of these things. And they come in and say, well, this is gonna take this many dollars, and this is gonna take this many dollars, and this is many, and it's not negotiable. They're gonna tell you basically, look, we need you to take $20,000 off the price now because of our repair list. And you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not gonna do that. Well, that turns into like 8 to 15%. It's a big wide variety, but let's just call it $20,000, which is 10% off of a $200,000 sales price. That's an additional 10%. Over here, you've paid 0.5%. So you can see real quick, we're gonna come down to about 9 or 10% difference in the actual what you walk away with. So in our situation with typical seller, in a very nice house, you're probably gonna actually walk away with $183,000 in cash. With an iBuyer $200,000 house, you're probably gonna walk away with something closer to $163,000. That's $20,000, guys. That's a lot of money. And the reason that this is so important is because the next thing you're thinking is, well, then I just wouldn't take this. Here's the caveat. Once you've been told something's wrong with your property, if you backed out of that deal and said, I'm not selling it to you for this amount of money, fine. You go back to the traditional agent, and we've got this thing called a seller's property disclosure. Guess what you have to do now? You have to divulge to all the potential future buyers all those things that were wrong on your inspection from the iBuyer. So now you're gonna set yourself up saying, yes, I knew there was plumbing problems, I knew there were electrical problems, I knew there were HVAC problems. What do you think that does to your future price? It's a real situation that we're hearing a lot of sellers getting very frustrated with, because now you're in a pickle. Do you go ahead and sell it to them for less money? Or do you go ahead and put it back on the market, exposing the entire house thing, and then all of a sudden you're in a little bit of a quandary because now every buyer looks at it and says, there's a ton wrong with this house. And it kind of puts you in a bad position and gives you no leverage as a seller. So I want you to know these things because this is super important. If you have any questions that I haven't covered, call me at the number on the screen. I'm happy to answer those questions for you, give you some in-case scenarios of what we've seen happen in the past for people around us, and just answer any questions about real estate for you. If I can just be any connection for you, connect you to some contractors, whatever you might need. It doesn't have to be about selling your house. Just let me be the go-to guy, and if I can help you in any way, give me a buzz. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.